had that problem. In this room, they're not, it was that other room, that was insane, right? That was crazy.
You're the programming teacher, just open source, you need install access.
Yeah, and they wouldn't, and they gave it to me like the first week or two in 219 in that other room, and then they took it away. But here, I think I have it, and so,
That's good.
yeah. Okay, so Shannon, for just a second, your networking might go off, but it'll come back, all right?
Oh my gosh, I'm still down. My keyboard's so slow. I can't type it. And it's for spaces or P's. Oh, it's waiting. I was gonna fix it on my break, but
If you can already install your remote, yeah, I can do it.
Well, that is weird, I have to say. Okay, maybe I can't do it for all my talk.
it's so much work.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It sounds like a big project.
Let me check. Why would I not be able to do it?
Just a few things. Taking out your door, we'll do some electrical. Putting in a door. Just little things, really. Well, they are
Until we
really.
add them together.
They really are really good.
So we watch this one more time and see. I should be able to install it. Maybe there's some, maybe that's why there's no copy on this machine, is there's something screwy about this machine. Issue you're trying to use is on a network resource that is unavailable.
But if it wasn't happy,
Yeah, you're right.
maybe because you're not an admin for IT, for people to call it, just means you don't have the access to see that thing. You can play install certain things, but not on a origin.
I see what it was. It's right here. Back when I brought this up, I hadn't actually logged in. That's why it doesn't show. It's weird that it let me do that because it has my, wait a second, see it knows. Knows who I am.
Click on it.
Not right. It's clear. No, not that. It says it's logged in. That's why.
Back in.
That's why I thought, oh, see now, there it is.
Yeah, dude. It's probably cash.
Oh.
I'm sure we can go to over there, you have to handle this. We get to this like 6:30.
Yeah, I know we have to agree here, but let me try one more time, and then if it doesn't go, just give it up.
Can you go to this admin?
Yeah, maybe you're right, maybe that's what I need to do. It's,
You have everyone, don't you?
all right, finish, right?
That's probably just you, not her.
No, well, let's see what happens. There was just some weird permissions on that file, on that directory. Okay. So Shaylin, try it now, see if you can, if you can get at it now. Is there a virtual box on your,
Oh, yes.
great.
Show up, yeah.
All right, good.
Thank you.
We're through that somehow. All right. Okay. So, okay. So if you do, has everybody been able to get into it now? Everybody got, except Sharon is maybe still been able to get to VirtualBox and running Ubuntu? Okay, so I have gone, on this one, I've just gone crazy and our node version should be 5.30, is that what everybody's getting? Yeah. And then the NPM dash version should be it's the 3.0 one that I told you. I was sort of trying to avoid last quarter, but we're gonna start using it. So we're at the most recent code now, and it should update itself automatically when we simply do npm sudo apt-get update, sudo apt-get install, because of the way it's set up now. Specifically, before I had it set up to go to the dev node source com 4.x, and now I'm having it go, when I installed it, which I already did for you guys, it does the 5.x, and it should then automatically be at the point where you can be at the point where it'll update automatically when you do sudo apt-get update and upgrade and so on. But it should be fairly up to date now, just as it is by default. And don't forget when you go home that you want to, log out and shut down your instance before you go home. Don't leave it running, and don't just go to machine ACPI shutdown to shut it down, although that'll probably work okay. The best thing to do is to choose log out and then shut down this way so that you turn the machine off the way the operating system would normally shut down. Now, if you look in your probably in your recent files is bash RC. And down at the bottom of your bash RC, there's export Android home Android SDK, and home Android SDK platform tools. So we've set up two environment variables, okay? Android home and Android platform tools. And if you go then to your home directory, you'll see that there's a folder called Android, and inside the folder there's a folder called SDK, and inside there's the tools and the platforms directories. And something's not right. Oh, I think I know what it is. So go to your home directory and type Android. And it pops up the Android SDK manager. So what we're trying to do here I might not be able to get you all the way through this, but we'll get as far as we can. I don't think I've installed Cordova on this machine, so npm install -G Cordova. So what we're doing is that we're just using NPM to install the Cordova toolset, okay? So that we can have it installed automatically and be able to work with it. This is the way NPM 3.0 looks. It's got that bar going across it. And it's designed to create the flattened directory structure inside your node modules folder so that it will work properly on Windows. And we don't care about that, but the Windows people really do care. And it means that your node modules folder will be less well organized, but it should be better set up. It should ultimately, it's the way of the future. It's the way they're going to do it.
We'll eventually want to set up some soft links to the node modules again.
What? Yes. And we will do that, but not quite yet. And so we might not be able to get through this just because I'm not totally ready yet, but I will be by Wednesday. So you can see I'm in JS Objects, Cordova directory. There's a project called Elven Geo, all right? And these are the commands we would normally use to build the first one should build a copy of an APK file, which is the executable that will end up being copied either onto your VirtualBox or onto your Android phone, and it will be the program that runs. So when you're on a phone, and you start a project like that, okay? Oops, that's not a very nice page to look at. And you start a project, that was an APK file that ran. If it were on Windows, it would be an exe file, right? Or if it were a node project, it would be node start, ben ww. It's the way but it's all inside of one thing. It's an APK file, which is essentially a zip file, and inside that zip file is all the Java jar files make it impossible to load the Android application, and plus the public directory from your code. So when we're here, when we do Cordova build Android, that command should build our APK file, which will end up in Platforms, Android, and Build, okay? And then there's our project file, Cordova debug.apk. That's our executable, that's the program. Then ADB is the Android debugger, and we need to install it with this project that we were running. And that will uninstall this current project from whatever device we're currently linked to with the Android debugger. So it might be our phone, it might be a copy of VirtualBox running Android x86. And then this will install the new version. So first you uninstall the old one, then you install the new one. And I don't believe it's an error to uninstall a project that doesn't exist. So it just rides over that. Now, right now, if I try to type Cordova build Android, it's going to complain because we don't have Cordova platform